Hey my friends, I'm back doing another video on curly dock Rumex Crispus, and this is the seeds that are older. This is what we make the coffee out of. That is in my other video. There's 3 videos to this one, and these are the curly dock leaves. This is horseradish leaf, which is a look-alike to the curly dock. This is more of the curly dock. We'll be cooking that in another video, but in this video here I'm going to be talking about the plant and its medicinal uses, and in the other videos we'll be in the kitchen cooking it. So I hope you enjoy this video. Share and like with your friends and give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next videos. Peace.
Hey my friends, I'm back doing another video on a wild edible, and I'm sure you're all familiar with this one because it's very easy to spot this time of the year. So I waited. This is in my garden. I left it here and it got huge, so which is great because now I can utilize the seeds, and I can show you how to use this beautiful plant. And this is called yellow dock, also curly dock. It's a biennial, and the Latin name is Rumex crispus polygonacea. So it is in the buckwheat family. This is the most commonly eaten. The dock is very abundant. It'll grow everywhere. And I'm going to show you some smaller ones that I'm actually going to harvest today. They'll keep coming up all year. Well, not in the winter, but you know, all during Vermont, this beautiful weather that we have. So the leaves here, let me see if I can grab some beautiful leaves behind me so I don't have to reach over. These leaves here, that's why they call curly dock, because they're curled. And also they resemble the intestines. So they have, when you cook them, they have a mucilaginous, like a really slimy type of, not too overbearing, but slimy kind of taste to it. And it's very lemony, like someone squeezed a lemon in your mouth. That's exactly what they taste like. You'll see, because we're going to go in the kitchen and we're going to cook these up. The leaves is what we're going to cook. We are also going to make coffee out of the seeds, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to find some seeds around here that are still green, but I'm gonna look and I might find some green seeds. Now the green seeds, before these turn to their tannish brown, you could pull them off and actually sprout them. You could sprout them and eat the sprouts. So there's a lot to this plant that is very medicinal and useful as a wild edible and a staple food. I would collect these seeds like right now and save them to make your coffee, and I'm going to show you how to do that in the kitchen. So these also can be, you can make crackers, bread, grain, pancakes. I may attempt to make some pancakes and show you how to make this as a flour. You can grind it up into a flour. And so the leaves also, oh, there's one more thing I forgot about. So these leaves here, you can make these into kale chips like you would kale. You know, you can put them, I would make a really nice sauce, whatever flavors you like, and dip them in the sauce and then bake them in the oven. You can, I'd say 350, maybe 15, 20 minutes. You just gotta watch them, you don't wanna burn them. And so, until they're crispy. Or you can put them in a dehydrator, that way you know you're not gonna burn them. I might make some of these. I'll see if I have time to make some. So you can stir fry, you can boil them in soups or stews because it makes a nice thick soups, it thickens the soups up. You can steam them. We're going to steam some in the kitchen. Just remember, these are high in oxalic acid. They can cause people that are already very acidic, which is half of the world, over half the world, have gout or arthritis or bursitis, anything with itis in it. You have too much acid in your body, folks. You've got to watch what you're eating. So too much acid can cause the kidney stones and joint pain. So that's another reason why, you know, we don't eat too many of these wild edibles, because they have the oxalic acid. Remember, when we get near people, our bodies automatically will raise, our acid levels will raise a little bit to kill off bacteria. This is very interesting, but you know, it's also due to our toxic foods that we eat. out. I mean, it happens. But this also looks like horseradish, and I do have horseradish over here, and I will show you the lookalikes if you don't have horseradish on your property. When you see horseradish, you can look it up too. If I have a moment, I'll show you what the horseradish looks like. And it also looks like prairie dock. So the flower parts are very different, so you'd be able to figure that one out. So we can cook the young leaves. The stem of the leaf can be eaten like rhubarb. The milder ones can be eaten raw, like the really tiny ones can be eaten raw. I'm going to show you some of those also. The mature seeds, when these are brown, they can be bitter, but it can be used as a coffee. Now I've drank this as a coffee. It's not bitter at all. It actually tastes so nice. It's very mild after I've roasted them. And remember, you got to watch them too. You can burn them very easy. So the larger leaves, when you boil them, it removes the tannins, and then they're palatable. Like the leaf I just showed you, you can get these huge leaves like this, or the ones that are here. They're quite big. See, these grew, and then another bunch just grew up in the middle of them, which was kind of interesting. And if you look down on the bottom, you'll find there's some little babies coming up. Like there's a bunch over here. They're everywhere. So you can find smaller ones all around as well. So you can eat this like year-round, all through the summer. Like the mature seeds, when they're brown, I said, can be eaten as a grain, and they can be a little bitter. Some people say they are, but I guess it's the stages where you're picking them. If you let them go too long, they probably could get bitter on you. So as far as this being used in a soup, I think what I would do, because they're bitter, is chop them up first, steam them, or I'm sorry, boil them, drain the water out, and then put them in your soup. Does that make sense? You know, you're taking the tannins out, and then you're going to throw them, same as you would if you were doing fiddleheads. You want to boil them a little bit to take the tannins out, and then dump the water, and then put whatever you're going to do, put it in your soups afterwards. Other names, Crispus means curled, curved, or wavy. This is high in vitamin C, zinc, beta-carotene. The seeds are rich in calcium and fiber, amino acid lysine. So you got some, medicinal properties here. Curly dock produces thousands of seeds. You can sprout them. Like I said, when they're green, you can pull them off, and the seeds, you can sprout them. Or save some to grow. If you don't have them on your property, you can grow some of them for medicinal purposes. And the seeds as a sprout can be a survival. So in the wintertime, you could take those. I think I would just keep them in the refrigerator, and then you could sprout them later because they are pretty fresh. So the stem can be tough and stringy, but I would just err on getting the really big ones. They're lemony flavored when they're raw as well as cooked. So you do want to chop them up before you eat them, because a lot of my edibles, I like to chop them up because they're easier to chew when they're cooked. So you don't have these long pieces of trying to chomp on these long pieces of curly dock. So you can pull the leaf off the stem like you would kale. You know how you just rip them off? Like, let's see if I can do one here. These guys are, just think of kale. So if you're pulling these off like this, they come off pretty easy. I don't want to break it. And this part here would probably be too woody. I've never really eaten the really large leaves. You could throw this away, or I don't know, use it as a knitting needle. No, I'm just kidding. I would just compost it, I guess. And then these guys, you can make these into your chips. Break them up and then put your sauce on them and have them into your kale chips. I've made kale chips plenty of times. I've not made them out of these though. I probably will try it. I'll try everything. I'm to lose myself here. Once they're boiled, they change from a bright green. You'll see that when we go in the kitchen, or steamed. They go from a bright green to a lighter army color green, and then you could throw them in your soups and stuff too. Like I said, you boil, it takes the lemony or the bitter out. It's the same as what I did with the burdock. You know, I boiled it to take the tannins. And burdock's very very bitter. So you really want to be able to boil those in 3 changes of water. But you don't have to do that with these. You just have to do it in 1 change of water. Sorry for the background noise. It's a busy day today. So as far as the leaves and stems, you know, you can eat those stems, but I just don't bother with them. But if it's all you had to eat and you were in a survival type of mode, then yeah, go ahead and cook them up. So also, the leaf stems can be chopped up and then used as a rhubarb pie substitute. You know, the same as the Japanese knotweed pies that I did in one of my videos, can also be used in a soup stock, dried for tea, or put through a juicer. I've not juiced these guys. I never thought that it would matter. You'd have to have a whole bunch of them. Like, you have to have like a whole 2 big bowls of these to get a bunch of juice out of it. You're just gonna get like a little shot glass. And it was just, to me, I didn't feel like doing it, so I just left it alone. But you can do that. They just become fibrous, and you know, if you want to try to juice them, go ahead. That'd be something that you could do on your own. The mature stems are hollow, so they can be used as a straw, like these guys here. See, they're really hollow inside. I don't know if I can break one. I don't even have my scissors with me. But inside here, you could take these out and you could use this as a straw. You can get creative with the kids. And I've not tried that, but I do know that because I've read a bunch of books about using it and making straws out of them. So it's the same as the marshmallow root. It has that mucilaginous, so it's great for the gut. And it's good for, like, you know, a gumbo, a thick texture. You can add broccolini and other broccoli and vegetables and make a nice creamy stew. So we're going to get into the medicinal parts, which is the root, and I have not dug one up yet, but I'm going to do that in another part of a video, is digging up the root. Right now I want to just talk about the leaves and these guys. So this plant has a lot of medicinal and a lot of edible parts to it, so I'm going to do them in little spurts in this video. The roots are yellow to a golden color, and the roots are used for, they have the berberine in them, so it is definitely used as a medicinal. I'm going to go over the root later. Don't want to get into that right now because I'm in the middle of doing this video. So you'll see that on the next video. So the dock families are yard dock, Rumex, longifolia, folius. There's different docks, and this is the most common one. You got your golden dock, which is a Rumex fugineus. You got your patience docks, which is Rumex patentia. And then your bitter dock, Rumex obtifolius, also known as broadleaf dock. So the broadleaf docks, the Rumex, and the curly docks, Rumex crispus, are their sisters. So it's common in our area here. So you'll probably see them, but I mean, it's okay. You can eat them both. They're not going to harm you if you go, oh, I don't know if it's curly dock or if it's the same as like a plantain. They have the broadleaf and then they have the other plantain. Broadleaf docks have different leaves. They're like egg-shaped and they're not long and curly like you have broadleaf plantain. So the edible parts are the leaves, the growing tips, and the seeds. So the medicinal uses, the roots, digestion. One of the best herbs for the entire digestive system is right here. And I think marshmallow root too. So The roots are rich in anthraquinone, and which has a laxative action. It's used for pain and swelling, inflammation of the nasal passages and respiratory tract, for bacterial infections, sexually transmitted disease, and has been used as a toothpaste for anything in the mouth. You know, H. pylori, not H. pylori, that's actually in the gut, for bacterial in the mouth, strep and staph. Parasites, also for parasites, bacteria and fungi, stimulates lymphatic system, flushing out toxins, a great blood cleanser, so it helps the liver as well, stimulates and cleans the liver as well. The compound berberine is antibacterial. It's high in magnesium and calcium. It nourishes the lower, like into the bowels. You can make a tea and drink the leaves fresh or dried. So you can save these leaves and have them later on as a dried tea. So it helps to boost the iron levels, digestion, liver, and skin health. So anytime you have something going on with the skin, it's usually the liver needs more help anyways. So you're helping the liver and this as well. You're helping the skin, and when you help the skin, you're helping the liver. It has antifungal properties. Cook the leaves and the shoots or raw in salads and tea. I've nibbled on some of them a little bit raw. I don't care for them too much raw, but they are very lemony. The dried leaves can be used as a seasoning as well, and I've done that with some of the wild edibles. I've made a spice and a seasoning out of the quickweed, which was fun. It actually tasted pretty good dry. So they have different flavors when they're dried. I may dry some of these and have that. So there's a lot you can do with this plant. I'm shocked you can't even smoke it. I'd be surprised. You probably could smoke it too. That'd probably be a lemony smoke, but don't do it because I have not read about smoking the leaves on this guy. But I am going to show you my book, and I'm going to tell you right now, I waited 6 months for this. It was before it was come to print. And this guy, Samuel Thayer, is one of my favorite authors on wild edibles and plants. I've learned a lot of my wild edibles through his books, many of other books, but I have every single one of his books. And this is Samuel Thayer. And when I got this book in the mail, it was like Christmas for me. I was so excited. This is his field guide. It's 700 something pages. It's heavy. It's all there. He's amazing. See my notes? I stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning just going through this book because I was super excited about this field guide. And it'll tell you in here too, if it's in Vermont, like the wild edible. So if you're gonna get a book, a field guide, this is a great one. He doesn't go into detail with a lot of medicinal, he just tells you the plant. You can further do your knowledge on his, on more edible, looking up to get more information. So he has a lot of other books. You can look up his other books. He tells you the poisonous plants. He goes through and talks about parts of the plants, but he doesn't get into like how to cook it. It's probably like one sentence. But his other books he does. So this is a great book. It's not that expensive. So if you want a really good book as a field guide, this is right here. This is amazing. I love this book. So I'm going to sign off right now. We're going to harvest some of these leaves, and we're going to the kitchen, and we're going to cook some of these leaves up. And we're going to make some coffee too. And the other videos will be on the roots, and I'll show you the roots, how to dig them up. So I've waited to get this out of my garden. It's been here for the whole season, and it's ready to harvest. And I have them all over. I have like 3 or 4 of these all over the place. This is as tall as me. No doubt. I'm 5'3", so it is 5 foot, almost 5'3". Wait, yes, it is tall as me. But these are the seeds. This is when they're time to harvest them for your coffee. And I think a mosquito just got me. So you can find me, folks, on VermontPureHerbs.com is my website. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram. I am also on Telegram. I do a little bit on Telegram. I just haven't had time to put it on all of these guys. I don't I'm trying to focus more on just trying to get the videos out to you, and then later I'll post them on there. So noisy today. That's it. I'm gonna see you in the next video, and see you in the kitchen. Peace.